We'll have a listen to Neale Richmond's views on the debate around immigration now. And it's short and sweet. And he says, I suppose, what's I seen as saying the quiet part out loud. And he's done this previously as well. If you remember the referendum on the family, right? And he came out and said it when the rest of his party were saying that it was the opposite. He said that it would have an impact on migration with families coming in following migrants to Ireland, right? And he said that out loud, and which was contrary to the rest of his party at the time. And I think he's after doing it again here, right? So either he doesn't have the ability to not, or he doesn't have the ability to shield what he means, and he continues to say things out loud when it's probably best for himself and his party that he doesn't do so. Or I'm open to the idea that he's been put in here to destroy his own party. Okay, so we'll have a listen.
Over the past few months, we've all said that we want to have a factual discussion on our future migration policy. And we need to be able to do that in a space where we don't allow, indeed, the far right or the far left to pick apart. And let's actually discuss the facts. And
So we'll go back and watch it again as well, but I'll comment on it now. So over the last few months, Neale is saying that he's been willing to have an honest and factual discussion around immigration. Why wasn't he appealing for that over the last few years prior to the importation of tens of thousands of people that have led to the desire for people to have a discussion around immigration? Why didn't he want to have that discussion prior to the mess being made? And also, we'll watch it again now and we'll pick it apart a bit.
over the past few months, we've all said that we want to have a factual discussion on our future migration policy. And we need to be able to do that in a space where we don't allow, indeed, the far right or the far left to pick apart. And let's actually discuss the facts. And I don't think my views on immigration would be questioned. You talk about the need for skilled labour. I issued 31,000 work.
Like, listen to what this man is saying here. So let's have a discussion where other people that I categorize a certain way are not allowed to come in and pick it apart. Like, this is high levels of stupidity here, to be saying such a thing with a straight face. With a straight face. So either he doesn't understand the severity of what he's saying, or he does, and he wholly believes that other people counter to what his views are should not be allowed to pick apart his views and should not be allowed to discuss it. You know? And then he invokes the facts, right? Which facts? Like, which things are up for debate here? And the olive branch he offers then to Labour is, sure, didn't I give 31,000 work permits with joy?
Where we don't allow, indeed, the far right or the far left to pick apart. And let's actually discuss the facts. And I don't think my views on immigration would be questioned. You talk about the need for skilled labour.
I don't think my views would be questioned. This is what he doesn't want, right? He's after framing it in such a way that anyone that comes in and picks apart his views is either far left extreme or far right extreme and therefore not worthy of being involved in the conversation. So what he's doing is boxing himself into a situation where his views are the only ones that can be considered factual. I hope people see that this is what these people do. Instead of engaging in the conversation, they frame it in such a way where anything that is said to contradict or to counter what he's about to say is extreme, and therefore is automatically disqualified from having any valid thing to say or offer to the conversation. This is a nightmare, and the more we see these politicians engage in even just a regular conversation around these topics, they just fall apart. So he's talking here about not wanting anything. No alternative perspectives are welcome here because they're all extreme, because I have the facts, right? But there's a significant amount of Irish people that would counter that, and he'll just say, well, they're all extreme, therefore they've not enough value to add to the conversation. Come back to what I'm telling you. Crazy attitude to have, regardless of your party affiliations, whether you have them or you don't. Just this sort of thinking, this sort of mind, that anything outside of the way I see the world is automatically dodgy and shouldn't be entertained. If you have a legitimate, and if you really believe that you're doing the right thing and that the measures and the actions and the policies that you support and wish to implement are really, really good for people, and they're the truth. They're as close to the truth as you see it, right? You'd be welcoming discussion, because what you'd want to do then, instead of stopping people observing and watching from hearing alternative explanations, you'd want to be able to show these people, look, I can show you why these alternatives to my views are weaker views and won't benefit you in the way my views would. You'd want to show that and display that, you know. But he chooses the other option of just denying the validity of any of these views as they're, in his eyes, extreme. It's not helpful, right? It's not helpful. You're dealing with someone who their thinking is so limited and so dogmatic that it's not beneficial for him to be in any position of power.